Hey everybody, it's Coach Matt, EliteThrowsCoaching.com, doing another video analysis for you today. So the other day we brought you a video by a thrower from Pakistan named Nahid. I'm sorry, I have stutter on certain words. I try to avoid him in videos, but sometimes I can't help it. So this is his training partner, somebody that works with him and trains with him. And if you go back and watch the video that I did the other day, that analysis, I said that Nahid was very jumpy, like he was leaping to the middle, jumping to the middle. And I had heard back from this woman saying that she also is a little jumpy. She also has more of an up and down sort of jump to the middle, and wondered if she could send in a video analysis. So I'm going to go through it now, take a look and see. So I want to just go through kind of in real time just to see what this looks like. You can see that it is a little jumpy, not as bad as the analysis from the other day, but the first thing that sticks out to me is that when she gets to the middle, it's very slow. We've got that big right sector fall, so that could be some type of early release or something going on with the hips, but you can see it's just a little slow in the middle. Like there's something going on with that left foot that's preventing that left foot from getting down to the middle. So let's take a look here. You can see kind of coming out of the back, if we take a look, we get started, get a nice kind of low position in the back of the circle, which is good. As we move forward, good separation with that right arm. So out of the back, it looks like that left foot is not really doing a good job of pivoting. You can see she kind of lifts it up in the air, turns it, and then stops. So the left foot's not really turning. I have a feeling it has more to do with the shoes. They look like some type of a cross trainer or some type of a basketball shoe. There is a bigger jump to the middle, but again, not too bad. The one thing that I do want to work on is, again, this left foot. Now, we saw this with her training partner yesterday, where because he's left-handed, his right foot was coming way up in the air and then going back down to the front. So that's a pretty inefficient way of throwing. If these feet are so high, yeah, and there's the other problem. Okay, so if these feet are so high, if it's going to go way up in the air, it's going to take a long time for it to get back down to the ground. So if we want a nice quick, a nice fast explosive throw, we need to make our bodies move faster. Number one, that's always the kind of the easy answer, is just move faster. But number two, we've got to give our bodies the opportunity to move fast. So let's shorten up the movements a little bit. So what I'd like to see is keep this left foot a little bit closer to the ground. Get those knees a little bit closer together. Get the foot closer to the ground, and get the feet closer together as well as you come through the middle. You see you've got this sort of wide, long turn to the front. So if we can shorten that a little bit, it's going to make the throw a lot faster, and more than likely you're going to be landing in a much better position than this in the front. If the foot gets down quicker, you might be here or even here when that left foot gets down to the front of that circle. But the other thing that's going to help this out as well is going to be the position of the right foot in the middle. So I did a very long, extensive video recently underneath this channel on the role of the power foot in the middle of the rotational shot and the discus. The way that I like to teach it is that the right foot should come down pointing at 3 o'clock. So if you think of this like a clock, we've got 12 o'clock is here at the top, 3, 6, 9. So you can see there's two little white lines that kind of mark the midpoint of that circle. When this right foot comes down, I like the right foot to be pointing at 3 o'clock. And I'll show you the reason for this. We talked about it in that video, but if you notice, when this girl lands, she's pointing back here to 12 o'clock. Now at this point, her foot is basically going to stop moving for a little bit. Just have to close my door here before my dog comes walking in the door. So her foot is going to stop at this point. It's already I guess I don't want to say in a bad position because it's really not a bad position. But what's bad about it is what happens when a lot of athletes, when they land with their foot pointing toward the back of the circle, is that this foot stops. And when the foot stops, the weight is going to shift toward 6 o'clock. So if you watch, I'll back it up a few frames. The right foot touches down here. And now watch, the right foot won't move, but watch how the right heel drops and the body weight starts to go toward the throwing area. Watch, we'll go one frame at a time. See how the heel starts to drop? Dropped again. And now the foot starts to turn. Well, look what's happening. Her body, because the foot stopped for that split second, her body is starting to fall toward the front of the circle. We want to keep weight back. So we have to land. It's a lot easier if you land with the foot pointing over here at 3 o'clock. And then as soon as the foot touches the circle, the foot pivots all the way around. If you can pivot all the way around, your foot has to move, and vice versa. Your foot has to move in order for you to pivot all the way around. You could stand up and try this right at your desk or wherever you're watching this video, is try to pivot in a 180 or in a 360 without moving your foot. You're going to twist your ankle, you're going to twist your knee, and you're going to lose your balance and kind of fall over. If you want to do a 180 or if you want to do a 360, then you need to pivot on that foot. So again, she overdoes it and turns that foot back here to 12 o'clock. So now the foot stops, she falls, shifts her weight, and then the foot starts to turn again. Well, by this point, all of her weight is opened up and falling toward the throwing area. So everything's falling onto her left side. And when you combine that plus the fact that this left foot is moving in such a long path where it's that up and down motion, you've got that left foot kind of crashing down to the front. You've got her heel dropping because she over-rotated. You've got that heel dropping that's going to make her crash down to the front. Well, if the left foot crashing down is shifting her weight, if her heel dropping is shifting her weight, then she's going to be wide open at the end of the throw. And we're not going to be in a good position. Now, there's other things happening at the release here where she's dragging that right foot forward. There's really not a good block or a good stoppage with that left side. I would want to see some improvement in there, but let's do kind of first things first. So the first big thing is going to be working on that pivot out of the back. Don't just lift the foot, point it, and run. We've got to actually pivot out of the back. So try to get some throwing shoes or some sneakers that are just a lot smoother on the bottom. That's going to help you to pivot out of the back of the circle a lot better. Okay, so that's number one. That's kind of an easy thing to work on. You can do 360 drills. Just getting the different shoes will help you out. The big thing is going to be right here in the middle. We want to keep this left foot closer to the ground, and we want to land with the right foot pointed over here at 3 o'clock. Okay, so land with the right foot pointed at 3 o'clock, and then continue pivoting that foot all the way around. That's going to make it easier to keep weight on your right foot. So that way you stay balanced on the right. The weight is on the right. That means your weight is going to be back and you're going to be fully loaded in that power position. Then this left foot will already come down to the ground much more gentle and a little bit sooner. And then you're not going to be as wide open right here when you go to throw the discus. You're going to stay back on the discus a little bit more. You're going to have a lot more whip with that left arm and the right arm. And more than likely, it's going to clean up a lot of the stuff happening here at the end, picking up the right foot off the ground, all that stuff. It really is sort of a chain reaction where one thing connects to the other. So that's really the two big things to work on in the middle. Get the foot pointed over here toward 3 o'clock and keep this foot lower as you drive through that circle. Do those things, and I think your form is going to be cleaned up quite a bit. All right, so that's what I've got for everyone today. Thank you so much for listening and checking it out and learning. Again, guys, make sure to check out the description down below of this video. It talks about all of our products, all of our camps, our 1-day and 2-day clinics that we're doing throughout the spring, our overnight camps that we're doing over the summer, and all the different ways that I can help you to become a better thrower. Thank you guys again so much for checking out the video. If there's any questions, leave them in the comment section down below.